Alright, I'm fabricating my own bridge. This is the one that came on the guitar. It's a ES335 copy. It's Chinese. It's made out of pot metal. I ended up putting locking bolts in it here and here, so it would lock on the posts and not wiggle. That worked, but being what I am, a tinkerer and a builder, I decided I was going to design my own bridge. Copy one, actually. I sort of ripped this design off from GFS, but I'm making it myself, and it's the only one like it, so it's not like I'm going to be selling them on those guys or anything. But anyway, it's a different kind of bridge. It's going to sit on the post the same. I'm going to have the same locking screws in it, but the saddles are going to be different. They're going to be made out of brass, and they're actually going to move back and forth on this center post, which is higher than the rest of the bridge. And they're going to have Allen screws that lock them to it. So there's going to be an Allen screw on this side, Allen screw on that side, 6 times for each saddle. And then you can adjust your intonation by moving the 2 set screws back and forth. When you get it where you want it, you lock it in place. And from what I'm seeing, this probably transfer vibration way better to the posts than that does. That's kind of funky. There's not much contact area there. This is going to be a massive contact area for string vibration to reach the guitar. But anyway, this is made out of aluminum, and I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use brass saddles, and I'm going to make those too. So anyway, that's the progress so far. By the way, I did this on the mill. Drilled the holes and then milled the shape. Okay, this is a continued video of the custom bridge build that I'm doing. Here's my Chinese stock bridge that I modified. I put locking bolts on. You've seen that in the other part of the video. And then I'm making an aluminum replacement for that, and it's not going to be arched. This is slightly arched to match the neck profile. This is going to be flat. I think it'll work okay like that, but these are going to be my bridge pieces, my saddles, and I'm going to step them in height. So I'll have the lower one here, middle one here, and high one here, and so forth. But anyway, I made these on the mill at work. This is brass. I can't really show you the milling work I do on it because it's it's in a private fab shop, and I just don't take cameras in there. But this is the aluminum part I milled out. Now what's going to happen is these are going to be cut into sections after I mill a slot right down the middle of it. Sort of a wide slot right down the middle of this. And then that's going to fit over that. And there's going to be a set screw here and a set screw here on each piece. That's going to lock on this middle flange that I got sticking up. And you'll be able to adjust the intonation forward and backwards set individually for each string. So this is what the brass starts out looking like. And when I get done with it, it gets this shape. And then, like I said, it's got to get a groove milled in it and holes drilled in it. But anyway, this is going to replace this. And I'm counting on it to have a whole lot more sustain. Plus, it's also got locking set screws in the end piece. So it's a whole different design. Similar to the one Guitar Fetish sells for $30. Okay, these are the saddles I made. Come on, focus. I made these on the mill at work. It's a crappy mill, but I managed to eke it out. They're made out of brass, and it was a lot of crazy clamping and milling with small end mills, and it had to be done 5 minutes at a time. roughly. I had 10 minutes in the morning to work on it, and then each break, I make these on my break time at work. So I don't want to take up company time to do it. That would be stupid. I get fired. But anyway, that's the pieces. That's all I got to do now is put some holes in them and some locking bolts. Maybe 2 per. I don't know. I mean, maybe 4 per. We'll see. Okay, this is the raw piece that makes my saddles. I'm going to make 3 out of this one. And I went ahead and made my first set. See, these are special saddles just for this bridge. They're graduated in height. I didn't want to bend the bridge itself, so I made saddles in graduated heights. So the lower one for the low string goes on the outside, and then the next highest one, and so forth. And then that's it. We'll lock on this cross piece in the middle, and you can put them wherever you want as long as you got the strings in the right place here. They'll work. Okay, this is well along the way to being done. This is the bridge on the guitar. Half of the saddles are done. They don't look too bad if you ask me. I like the big bulkiness of it. It's got a locking screw here and a locking screw there. 3 saddles that are done, or nearly done. I have to slot this one and this one a little deeper. And I got to put adjusting bolts in each one of these saddles. I'm not sure if I'm going to use 4 or 2 per saddle, but we'll see. And it's one of a kind, aluminum base and brass saddles, totally adjustable for intonation. Okay, I got the bridge finished, the homemade quasi-adjustable bridge that I was making. It's got brass saddles, aluminum bridge backbone. The saddles slide back and forth on a little ridge that runs down the middle, and then they lock. All those little 440 bolts that I got in there lock everything in place. I still got some fine tuning to do with it. I'm going to have to mill the bottom edge on each side off just a hair, so I can bring this end down a little bit, and if I have to I can raise that side back up to this height, because this height's good over here but this side is too high. So I can just mill the bottom of that off a little bit on each side, equal amount, and then I can use my height adjusters here. You're not going to see another bridge like this anywhere. It works. I got the intonation set. I'm missing a string. Part of the reason I replaced this bridge is because I broke a string with my old Chinese one. What happened is the string cut into these cheap whatever it's called, zinc pot metal saddles or whatever they are, and it literally, that string just cut a groove in it and then it cut itself. So I had to replace it. Now I got all this brass stuff here and aluminum. The aluminum really carries the sound to the guitar wall. I got a little fret buzz on my E string, which I think will go away in a day or two because it's very minor. Real good tone, good sustain. Guitar sounds good. Haven't plugged it in yet though. As soon as I get a string I will. Okay, I'm looking at this Guitar Fetish guitar bridge. It's similar to the one I made, but actually I see a lot of flaws with it. For one thing, their space over here is so big that if you actually intonate it all the way, this side would fall right off the edge because their plate isn't wide enough. Then their locking plate isn't tall enough. It should go up way up higher so they don't have to have their bolts so close to the bottom of the saddles. Like in this picture you can see, the bolts are the the set screws are actually at the very bottom of the saddle, and they'll actually break through after a while. I know that because I made some of these things, and my bolts are real close, and I'm going to fix those. I'm going to make some good ones. But anyway, this has got all kinds of flaws. The intonation adjustment is very limited, I would say, because of the width of the plate. You can't really move them more than probably a third of what they could move if the plate was wider.